guys, welcome on in. It's, you guessed it, another Photoshop tutorial. Now today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be working with a portrait photo and applying kind of a sketchbook, spray paint stylized look to that portrait. It's really cool when we get finished up with it. So let's go ahead and hop into it. At this point in time, I've given you an example photo of myself so we can play around with it and kind of get some ideas. So let's go ahead and open that up. There it is, me in all my glory. Now, the first thing that I want us to do is we want to remove the portrait from the background. So, just like always, we're going to choose our quick selection tool here on the left-hand side. We're going to choose select subject up top. We're going to let Photoshop do the work, just like always. And then, there you go. There's our selection. I'm seeing one thing I don't like about this selection. It's kind of taking this part out here. I'm not ready to lose the hair on the side of my head just yet. So I'm going to go ahead and change that. But that's it. After that, there's really not a whole lot that we need to do with this. So I'm going to add a mask. And you can see that we've removed our background. Now, what I would like us to do at this point is I want us to choose a background color. Okay. So I'm going to choose create new layer. I'm going to drag that behind my portrait. Okay. Once again, whatever's up top, that's what's showing first. Make sure that you're clicked on your background layer, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab my paint bucket tool, which you'll have a gradient tool here. I'm going to choose paint bucket, and I'm going to move my video here, and I'm going to choose a color. I'm going to choose this light blue color. I kind of like it. You can choose whatever color you like for your background. I didn't quite shine through like I wanted it to. Let's take a look and see a different color there. I don't like that purple. I do like that blue. I think we'll stick with that blue for now, okay? Again, you can choose whatever color you like. The reason why we did it on its own background is so that you can come back to it and change that background color later on, okay? Now, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add a layer on top of our portrait, okay? Now to do this, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add a new layer. And on this new layer, I'm gonna rename it foreground. I'm gonna do FG for foreground. Always a good practice to name your layers, just especially if you get into a lot of layers. I'm gonna name that FG for foreground, BG for background, and portrait there, okay? So I'm gonna click on my foreground layer, and I'm gonna click this little circle here in the bottom right. Kind of split circle. These are our adjustment layers, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a gradient fill. So go ahead and click gradient. And when you click that, you're going to see this pop up, okay? So we're going to do this drop-down menu for gradient. You can see you have all these different options here. I'm going to click under basics, and I'm going to choose the one that's black and white. You can see I have a black on the top left and a white in the bottom right, okay? So I'm going to hit that, and then under style, where it says linear, I'm going to change that to radial. You'll see why here in just a second. I'm going to hit reverse, so it's going to change, it's going to flip our colors. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to choose under scale, I'm going to bump that up quite a bit. I'm going to go up to like 370-ish, maybe a little bit more. And you can see basically what that's done is it's taken that tiny circle for your gradient in the inside, and it's blown it up bigger than the actual canvas itself. Okay, so you're actually in the radial gradient. And what that's done for us, I'm going to hit OK here, is it's created kind of this dingy sketchbook page looking thing here. Okay, so that's our foreground. That's exactly what we're looking for. Okay, now we can go ahead and we can click on our mask of our foreground here. And what we want to do is we want to grab a pencil tool. Now on the left-hand side, you have your brush tool here. If you right-click that, we have what's called the pencil tool, okay? It's just your brush tool. It's just a little bit finer, okay? For size, I'm going to choose 10. Hardness, keep it at 100, okay? We want that hard edge of that pencil. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that black is the color of my foreground. And I'm going to paint that on my layer mask right here. Now, what we talked about before is when you paint black on a layer mask, it reveals what's behind it. So you can imagine as I do this, I'm going to go nuts with my pencil here over where my face is. And I'm going to do this quite a bit. And you can see that as I do this, my portrait is revealing itself as I keep going. Okay. Don't just go side to side, do circles, go up and down, left to right. As I keep going, and go a little crazy too. More and more, my face is showing through. All right. That looks pretty good. All right. That looks pretty good. All right. And you can actually see your layer mask here, pretty messed up. That's kind of what we're going for. Now, if you want to, you can take a look at some other things in here. You can go to your adjustments. You can take a look and see what black and white looks like for this. I don't like the background color with that black and white just because it's not showing off the way I want to. Although if I mess with cyan, I can do that. There we go. See my face a little bit more. Anyway, you can play with that. You can change your background color if you like as well. One other thing that you can do, I'm going to get rid of my black and white. I want to show you a couple different options here. Obviously, adjustments, you can change the brightness of your layers if you wish. Change the vibrance, the hue, saturation. If you want to go crazy with the colors on this, that's a cool thing to do. That's what we're after there. I'm going to delete that again. And I want to show you two more things. Now, the first one, I am going to undo this. So I'm going to go Control Z a whole bunch so I lose all of my pencil. There we go. Okay. Now, I'm going to go back to brushes. Brush tool. I'm going to go up here on the top left, choose brushes. And you can actually see down here below, you have these different folders. Okay. And these different folders hold different types of brushes. And there's a couple really cool ones in here. There's one in particular that I want to show off. I think it's in special effects. Yeah, it's in special effects. You have spatter brushes. Oh, that's hard to say. Spatter brushes. And I'm going to choose one of these spatter brushes. There we go. I'm going to skip whatever this music is. Sounds like I'm about to do a toy unboxing. But once again, I'm going to click on the layer mask and I'm going to use this spatter brush. You can see it's kind of like a spray paint look. Again, you want to go heavy on the face there, just so it actually like looks like a person. But I'm not so worried about the clothes. Okay, and once again, adjustments, if we go black and white with it, kind of gives a cool look. I'm going to change the background color because I think that background color is kind of messing with my black and white. I'm going to move my video. Let's see. Let's try green. Yeah, you see, if you use a different hue for your background, it's going to change that black and white. And there we go. That's kind of what we're going for. That one's a little bit messier. If I kept on going with that brush, I have a better look to it. Yeah, you can see. We're gonna bring that face in. There we go. I'm gonna lose the black and white. That's a little too much now. Lose the black and white. You can see that's what we're going for. So we're gonna have some fun with it. Hopefully this works out well for you. And I can't wait to see what you come up with. All right, we'll see you next time, guys.